Very, very strange.
How did that happen?
Thank you, Dina, for, well, just showing us how dynamic our studio set is there. But I think we are missing the PlayStation or something like that. That'll help with, well, with the creativity on the show,
Right,
apparently.
that's what it's used for, sure.
Thank you for the report. Now, however cool your office may be, one thing we all rely on is air conditioning. But your AC could be affecting the health of your whole family. Parviz is a naturopathic doctor at the Synergy Integrated Medical Centre, and he's here to tell us a little more. Thank you, firstly, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I think this is a fascinating subject and very timely as well, with us going into the summer and everyone turning up their ACs to full. But I'm not sure how many people out there really know that ACs, if not well maintained, can make you sick. But how can they make you sick?
That is absolutely true. But before I explain that, I want to talk about the acute effect of AC on the body as well. Imagine this scenario. You spend some time outdoor, it's really hot. You sweat a lot, you feel really, really hot. Now you get inside or you sit in the car, nothing can bring relief to you but
that
being
blast of
directed
cold
in
air.
front of the AC. Yeah? But what is important to understand is that this cold wind can actually break through the protective shield around us. In Western medicine, we know that at the time of the heat, the skin becomes sweaty and it is wet because the circulation comes to the surface. The body wants to get rid of the excess heat. Now you expose yourself suddenly to a lot of cold wind that is blowing straight at you. The pores are open. There you go. There is a way to have this inside our body. In Eastern philosophy of medicine, such as in Chinese medicine, they see pathogens as not viruses or bacteria. They look at 5 things: cold, dampness, dryness, wind, and heat. AC has 2 of them. Cold, wind coming through your face. So it can hit you, it can penetrate into the tissue, and it definitely causes problem because it generates inflammation. Inflammation causes swelling, and then the swelling could lead up to sinusitis, sore throat, earache in children. Even at night when we are sleeping and we breathe a lot of cold air into our system, it definitely affects us.
So that
because
can affect
temperature,
the system.
Yeah, absolutely, because it affects the area that is hit by the wind cold, and it changes the circulation of the body in that area, and the body tries to defend. Also, a lot of the different mechanisms kicks in, and it causes even more problem. Yeah.
But it sounds like you're shocking your system,
Absolutely
from
true.
extreme heat to extreme cold.
That
so
is absolutely
something's
true.
not going to be right.
That is true.
But how do we avoid that? How can we transition into that?
I think the best thing is to avoid being hit directly by the blow. So you can divert the blow, you can make your car very cold and turn the AC to as minimum as possible, but as long as it won't hit you directly. And it's important to know that when we sit in the car in the summer days, when we turn on the AC, you have to leave the windows a little bit open so that this air that was trapped in the car will get out. Otherwise, a lot of plastic-based material that is circulating and floating in the air would get into our body and cause problem. In the houses, at homes, the best is to keep a temperature that is not very cold. So if we go outside and we come in, it is easier for our body to tolerate that.
So if you're in bed at night, then you don't want a direct, wind on you.
That is absolutely true.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to direct it to other directions so that it won't hit you directly. Yeah.
What about a fan, just a regular house fan? Would that have the same negative effect with the wind?
The wind aspect of it, sure, it does, but it is probably easier for the body. But I don't think we can survive with a fan in Dubai. It's too hot nowadays. Yeah.
Probably not.
Another element that we've heard about, and you just touched on there, is mold building up inside of air conditioning units. Now, we hear that staggering figures that so many can be affected by this. What effects does that have on the body, and how do we as house owners spot that mold?
Mold is some sort of fungus. It belongs to the group of mushrooms. Molds are microscopic elements that grow as soon as there's a little bit of a moisture around, especially in darker area. This is a perfect place for molds to grow. We had high humidity, and very high temperature as well. So they grow inside the air canals or in the corners of the house, especially places that cannot be cleaned constantly, or they don't get a lot of light. So When the immune system of the body is weakened for any reason, there you go, there is a chance for the microbes to come in and grow inside our body. We know in children, for example, special bacteria can grow on the tonsils. This bacteria, if not treated properly, can enter the bloodstream in some cases and find themselves around the valves of the heart. Now we are facing with the rheumatoid diseases of heart. So as you can see, microbes can grow. Now mold also is a kind of microbe that can easily penetrate into our body and grow. And a lot of people here, especially because they consume a lot of sugar, which is a food for the fungus, and in many different ways their immune system is not so strong. It's another chance for these microbes to grow inside the body, and AC is definitely promoting that.
So how often should we be getting the AC filter cleaned if that's the problem?
Probably this is something that experts in that area could answer that, but I think at least minimum once a year. And it's important to know if people cook inside a confined space, so there is elements of oil and other particles involved, or they smoke in the premises, they have to do it, I think, more frequently, and they have to make sure that the material they use for cleaning is not harmful. It has the ability to kill microbes, especially bacteria and fungi, and it wouldn't hurt us because we don't want to breathe that material back into our body and create further problems, because now we are contaminating our body with chemicals too.
I think what you're mentioning also as well is the mold inside AC units, which can be very dangerous, but also mold in other parts of the house which are being thrown up by the AC unit. So let's flip it on its side, and from a human point of view, if you start showing symptoms of AC-borne infections, what would those symptoms be, and when should one take note and go down to the doctor?
Probably it depends on the people and how they've been affected. In acute cases, usually we see a lot of sore throats, ear infections in children, a lot of itching in the body could happen. Sometimes it affects our digestive function, so a lot of issues such as diarrhea, bloating, stuff could happen, which are usually signs of something growing inside the body. In more severe cases, there are more complications involved that cannot be pinpointed in the beginning, but when we sit with the people and we'll talk about their lifestyle and the quality of their health and diet and how they treat themselves, then it gives us plenty of ideas, or maybe there is a problem with the fungus. And we have special techniques to test that. We can accurately test and diagnose if there are other microbes growing in our body, and definitely we have some good and reliable treatment plans for them too. But education is very important. That is the best
Absolutely, you have to spread the word.
Yeah.
Now that you've educated us on the pros and cons, are there any alternatives to air conditioning?
Probably, as I said, I've been living in Dubai for the last 8 years, and I've enjoyed my life here so far. The thing is that I think it's inevitable using the AC here, but as long as you prevent a direct hit by the blow, as long as you don't keep the place very cold, as long as you don't drink a lot of cold fluids at the time of the heat, you protect yourself, your immunity will protect you. But these are stuff that people have to know, and they have to understand how to deal with this household substance, like a lot of other things.
Yeah. I know exactly what I'm doing when I get home this evening, though. I'm going straight to all the AC units and give them a quick once-over, because it's one of those things that people probably forget to do each summer, especially coming into the hot season. But fascinating stuff. Thanks very much indeed for shedding a little more light on the subject, and hopefully we'll be clearing our throats a little better tomorrow.
I was wondering why I had that cough.
Now, of course, both the doctor's surgery website and his personal website are on the screen as we speak, so do feel free to get in touch via those sites. Thanks so much indeed.
Pleasure.
Now, last night.